So, oh my goodness, we have a winner. It seems like a certain one was very popular. Yeah, it was a closer one yesterday. I thought maybe Apple would beat the fifth option, but it didn't. So it's a cert. We're having them all in battle. Hi Elite, a little late getting ready today, hopping in shower now. Gotcha, muting. Hey everyone. Wow, we have some fun things to do. We will probably be doing a short Twitch poll in a bit, because there's a little question about adding a fifth fruit, but I'm gonna wait until more people are available who have come in stream, because I want to make sure. I mean, unfortunately Twitch polls are only open for 3 minutes. It's a shame that there's a time limit. I would like to have him up longer, but they're very useful to do really quick polls. But we'll wait till we've got peeps in, and then we'll do that poll. Super Fruit Friends assemble. Yay, Rainbow wins. Basically, just to expand on what this poll is, I'm literally going to ask you all if you'd like a fifth member in the gang, because currently, as you can see, we've got 4, but we can add a yellow one that's 11. That was a suggestion yesterday, and I want to see if more people say yes or no. Some people might be happy with the 4, others might actually think, actually, yeah, I'd add the fifth member. So we'll see what wins, and we're going to give them really cool personalities. I liked Elite's ideas yesterday for their personalities, and I'm going to watch the VOD back actually, because I want to see what because I thought they were perfect. I think I can remember some of them, but I do need to remind myself. And we'll have a cutscene, of course. We'll have them before the fight begins. There will be a cutscene, but this is what today's stream is about. We're gonna write the next part of the story, and some of you probably don't know how we go about that, because we haven't done a writing the next part of the story stream since, I think, stream 20 something, about stream 28. I'm not sure if that's the exact number of the stream, but it's been a long time since we wrote the story, and you'll see exactly. If you don't know how we do that, you'll see today. It's a lot of fun. I like it. And thank you for the follow, Okano-san. Welcome. It's good to meet you. I hope you're having a good day. And Juice, how are you doing today as well? It's good to see you. Apple, the reluctant leader. Blueberry, the cute one. Tomato, the edgy teen. Plum, the mixed bespeckled Professor Lemon. The bitter old fogey. Yeah, right, let's write those down. I'm going to get notepad up, and I'm going to copy anything you guys say in chat today that I feel is worthy of keeping a note of. I'm going to be copying and pasting. So I'm taking that as a note, Elite, because I feel that those are a good base of a personality to go on for them, and I think we could potentially have a really fun cutscene. So I'm looking forward to the upcoming dialogue stream we'll be doing, because today's stream isn't a dialogue stream. The dialogue streams are different to the writing the next part of the story. The story writing bit is a bit more less specific. It's more general. If you've looked at our Instagram, you might have seen these little square visual graphics. There's only 2 of them up so far, and really this is how we do it. We literally just write a couple of paragraphs on what the next part of the story is going to be. I always start it off, and then the community can submit ideas to finish off what happens next. It's fun. It's like stories around a campfire. That's what it's like. Can't wait for December. I think we should leave yellow out and make it part of the story. How do you mean leave it out and make it part of the story? Can't wait for December. Together they protect the Everbloom Forest from evil with the power of friendship. Showering now. Okay, Elite, cool. And I'm curious, what's happening in December, Neville? Anything fun? Christmas? Okay, so I'm only curious about that with the comment, Van, about your idea about leaving yellow out, but you says make it part of the story, but that means have it in, right? So I just want to clarify that. Maybe it's the reason why they turned evil. Well, maybe they're not evil. See, this is what this today is about. We're going to decide exactly what's going on here, because there's a lot of questions. Are they innocent fruits? Are they just minding their business, having a nice paint of the beautiful Everbloom Forest view? Maybe they're not even. Maybe the monster of Everbloom Forest was a myth. Maybe it's not a myth. Maybe they're the monsters and they are evil. But they could easily not be evil. It all depends on what one wins and what one tops the poll. So this is going to be fun. And we could always leave the poll about adding the lemon right now and wait until we've finalised what part of the story is going to be happening next. I'm trying to think of the best way to do it, really, because maybe it's best to wait, because we haven't got anything set in stone yet. So maybe I will hang on a bit more to say. Trying to erase yellow from the dead. See, this is really cool and creative, Van. I like it. I want to see a submission, because it sounds fun, and I hope to see some cool ones. I'm actually not going to add my own submission today like I have in the past, but I might do it tomorrow. I might add one tomorrow, because this particular poll today is going to be open for more than one day. I might have it open the whole week. It all depends on how many submissions and votes we gain, really. But first of all, the first step of today is going to be to print screen this poll and remove it, because it's closed now. We've got the votes we need. We've decided that we're at least going for a whole gang of fruits. Whether we're going to have 4 or add an extra 5th one, the lemon, isn't in question yet, but maybe, we'll see with the submissions who says what and what people's ideas are for the story. But I'm going to just reset that, because I don't have it zoomed in when I take a screenshot. Okay, that is saved now. So now I've took a screenshot of that. I can delete it, otherwise we'll still get votes coming in, and they'll never stop. But I always like to keep the evidence, because we'll need it. Who knows, we might archive them somewhere at some point. They all look cute. They do, don't they? They've gone now, but we're going to bring them back, because we're gonna put a screenshot of them up in this little, where are we, submissions here. I'm going to write a few little rules down and thoughts here in a bit, just so peeps, just to make things very clear and give you guys a little guide about what we're going to be doing. But first of all, I have to get Carol the Barrel Bot up, because Carol the Barrel Bot, literally all it is a bot that I made myself. Is she here? I don't think she is yet. Oh, yeah, she's here now. She's there. This is a bot I made myself. We need it to make this submission process work, and we're gonna do it now. I'm gonna write it up, and I'm hyped and excited. Oh, welcome guys to the Discord. It's good to have you here. Always good to have new peeps, and feel free to say hello in the stream as well. We're super friendly. Tell us a bit about yourself. Okay, so what we're gonna do, well, we have to open, because this channel's shut at the moment, because submissions are currently closed. It's been closed for ages, this has, but the submission will be here. It might be a bit confusing at first, but I'm going to try and make it as easy as possible, so don't worry guys. And if anybody has any questions at all, totally feel free to say. But we're going to not open it yet because we need to get everything written down first before we actually open this channel, the submission channel. But all that happens is you write your submission in the comment box with this in front, and it automatically gets submitted to this channel, and it'll say your name, who submitted it, and it'll have a heart reaction by it, and people can click the heart reactions to vote, and whoever gets the most will be where we take the story. Maybe they use their paper to transform people. If they defeat the player dies, they become part of their ranks as yellow. Well, please keep this in mind, Van, because this idea sound I like hearing the ideas, and I don't want you to miss out when we do the submissions. But no worries if you don't do it today, because we are going to leave this poll open all week. But I will say, the sooner you submit, the more likely you are to get the votes, because for some reason the early submission seems to get more of the votes, but not necessarily. Somebody could do a submission towards the end of the week and it could be so cool that ends up getting the most votes. Who knows? And hi Tetsu and Zexy, how you doing? Hope I didn't miss too much. Were you here for the poll, Zexy? Did you see who the winner was? Okay, so I'm going to be doing a lot of writing up today, just to prepare this writing the next part of the story. There's going to be quite a bit of stuff to write, so, but I have made some notes, so we're not totally unprepared. Okay, so this is where I'm the only one that's allowed to write in this particular channel, because I don't want to get it to get spammy or anything. This is just going to be where the submissions automatically get put in. Pete's can't write in here. So scroll, I'm going to try and make it as pretty and as well presented as possible. So I want to zoom in, but you're probably not going to see because the characters are walking across. Is there any way we can zoom in so you can still see? I mean, I think the text box, does it get bigger? Oh, it does get bigger, so that's cool. You'll be able to see what I type. Awesome. So I think that's okay. I'll get bigger. Hi Lil, welcome. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. And look at Tetsu, second on that. Second on with the most raindrops. Well done, Tetsu. I was here for voting yesterday, but I missed the winner. I assume it was the rainbow. It was the rainbow. We have officially got a gang of fruits now. So it's all the next part of the story that we're writing today is going to be based on the gang. But I'm going to just briefly mention that. I'm going to leave it open to you guys what actually happens. Once the party encounter the fruits, I'm going to leave that bit open for you guys to suggest some things. And Van was already having some ideas, which is really cool. That's what I like to see. I want to see loads of submissions, and you can submit more than one idea, by the way. If you've got a couple of story ideas, you don't just have to submit one, you can submit another, just so you know. But I always write it, I want to try and make it super tidy and neat. It's quite hard with Discord, unfortunately, to do that because you haven't got much freedom with formatting. It doesn't let you change text sizes or anything, but it does let you bold text at least. So that's what I'm doing. Oh, have I done something wrong? Also, we don't want Carol the Barrel's heart reaction here. That's only for the submissions, so we'll remove that manually. But I'm just going to write bit by bit. So I want to make sure it looks good, so I might press enter a few times to see how it looks. But I've already done a typo. So let's write the main story. Chapter 1, Part 3. So if you do want to see what the story is so far, chapter 1 part 1 and chapter 1 part 2. The Instagram has got everything that's happened so far. It's all just a big summary. Chapter 1 part 1 talks about Carol the Barrel, the introduction of her, only very briefly. You have to play the game to see the whole story. And it also talks about the first quest that Nigel, the innkeeper, gives you to find his little sister. And then chapter 1 part 2 is when you go into the Everbloom Forest to find the little sister, and then she gives you a quest to sacrifice Rose to the monster. Rose was trapped in a cabin, in a cage, and if you was here a few weeks ago, you might have seen me do that cutscene and that section of dialogue. It was lots of fun. So now that's where we are now. We've got Rose in the party. She's just joined, and our purpose is to actually sacrifice her to the monster. And I suppose the question is, who is this monster? Nobody realises it's just going to be some little cute fruits. Everyone's probably expecting, you know, a big beast or something. So it's really going to twist the trope on its head. Which is quite funny, but you know, this is going to be cool. So I have a couple of I don't have much to write, but there's going to be a few lines that I'm going to write just to start things off, but I'm going to leave most of the freedom to you guys. So how shall we? I think if we put an arrow, if we do that, it will kind of move things across a bit, and it'll probably look a bit tidier like that. I think it basically does that. So I think we'll format it like that this time. And we have to put the asterisks there to bold it. So you're going to see me write the story now. I'm going to start. I'm hyped. So, are the paint slimes wanting to use Rose's blood as their pigments? Well, this is all up to you guys. This is what this all is, because I know some of you are going to have some really creative ideas, and multiple people might have some really cool ideas, and this is why we're going to actually have a submissions Discord thing, so people can submit an idea and we can vote on whatever tops it will be the winner. Because I'm going to show you guys a paint file of what our last one looked like, just so you have an idea of what it's going to look like by the end. But let's get it up. So this was the one that we did for chapter 1 part 2 back in September or late August. I literally write a paragraph. I start off, I'm going to make it a bit neater this time. I'm going to bold it and indent it a bit so it looks a bit tidier and stands out more. And then all that happens is that when you go to the submissions here channel, you can write your submission, and then it automatically gets put in this channel with a little heart reaction by, and it says who submitted it, and all the community can vote. They can click the heart, and whoever gets the most after when the poll closes is who we're going to go for, really. Because Zexy and Van already voted start stream, and both of you have said some pretty cool things, pretty cool ideas, so it's only fair to let everybody have their say. Right, let's get cracking. So I have a pretty cool, well, I think it's pretty cool anyway, an idea to connect our characters with this whole business with the painters. I'm going to try and flesh Carol the Barrel out a little bit more, and Rose as characters, because they're just blank slates at the moment. So I'm going to try and make them a bit more, you know, interesting, give them a bit more depth. So I'm not going to make this too long, by the way, because we don't want to have a big massive novel feel to it, but I'm probably going to be a couple of short paragraphs or just a few sentences. Where do you submit in the Discord? Well, I'll tell you all that once it opens, so don't worry, and I'll make it clear several times throughout stream, and I'll even put a bot command up with the link. At the moment it's going to be confusing because I haven't set it up properly. I've still got to open the channel as well, but I'm going to mark everything up clearly and bold text and give for instructions, so it's as clear as possible what you have to do, so don't worry. And hi Rex, how are you doing? Did Rainbow win? It did, 15 votes, and in second place it was Apple with 5 votes, so it won quite clearly. So we've officially got a gang of fruits now, and I know there were originally slimes, but they're more like fruits now rather than slimes because of just adding that little piece of leaf above their head just really transformed them, in my opinion. Yeah, how are you doing there, Rex? I hope you're doing good. Rose, this is really very cool. I'm glad I found your stream early enough to take part in this. You and your community brought my socks off 100%. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you, Zexy. Honestly, that means the world. I really like my idea, and even if it was just me talking to myself doing it, I'd be having a blast. But the fact that other people like yourself are getting enjoyment from it as well, like, makes it even more special, so thank you very much. I think it's a lot of fun, and I'm very excited to see where it's gonna go. I'm ultra sleepy, but I've got my coffee. Oh, what coffee you got? Is it black? And yeah, have a look, fan. Don't worry, like, we're not gonna get this submission thing up and running quite yet. It'll probably be another 30 minutes or so at least until we've got everything written up. Sometimes it can be a bit of a slow process, and I've got to write all this paragraph first. And thank you, Hunting Swan, for the host. I appreciate that. How are you doing? Welcome. Okay, so I hope you're ready to see what happens next. And we will make a little Instagram graphic as well for this one. I kind of want to treat Instagram as our ongoing journey log in a way. Then we'll gradually put up all the story and lots of screenshots to support it, and over time it'll be a lot. And people who are new to the stream and don't know what's happened in the story, that'll be the easiest way for them to like catch up with what's happened. I guess that's kind of why I wanted to do that, because otherwise, you know, in months to come when we write quite a bit, people might get a bit overwhelmed by not knowing what happens. I mean, there's always the chance to play the game, but if the episode hasn't been released, you know what I mean, you won't know. Yeah, just black coffee, but I noticed my housemates have a big tub of cocoa powder, so I might nick a pinch. Oh, that sounds yummy. I really liked that coffee that Jenna had. And Hunting Swan, hi, it's good to meet you. It's always good to meet new peeps. I hope you're having a good Tuesday. I thought it was Wednesday today, but it's actually Tuesday. Okay, so as I was saying, this paragraph that I'm writing now, the last part is going to be when we encounter the slimes. That's where I'm going to end it. Not the slimes, the fruits. I keep saying slimes because that's what there were before. But so that's just so you know in advance, if kind of you're trying to think of some ideas, it's going to end. The last sentence I'm aiming to have for this is the party sees the fruits holding their paintbrushes and palettes. That's going to kind of be the last sentence. So you guys will continue it from that point. You'll have the freedom of what the fruits will say and what their lore is, and what conversations, dialogue might pop up, and what they'll think about Rose, and if they actually do wanna like let her be sacrificed. Like, everything is all up to you from that point, but I'm gonna just fill in a few little details before that encounter. So I just want to flesh out Carol the Barrel mainly. I was thinking of making her a key part of the main story and just have her, because she's Carol the Barrel. If you don't know, I mean, most people who've been here long term know Carol by now, but she's the first person we meet in the game, and she's a bit of a comic relief type of character, and she joins the hero on this journey. I actually wrote that particular conversation yet where she joins the hero. We've only wrote her first bit so far, but at some point we're going to have to write that dialogue for sure. And hi Elite, how are you doing today? Oh, cool. Okay, so let's get going. So on the way, Carol the Barrel confesses. So this is all happening after Fiona Buckington has given you the quest to sacrifice Rose. So once Rose joins the party, there'll at some point be a second cutscene in the Everbloom Forest. I'm not 100% sure where this little cutscene is going to take place yet, but we'll do it at the right time. We'll think of a good spot for it to happen, but it'll be somewhere between the cabin and where the fruits are going to be. It'll be somewhere in between, I'd say. I'm a control freak with my game. I could never hand over rounds like this. Oh yeah, it's a challenge for sure, because if you get attached, you know what I mean, you've got to be prepared for the story to change or go a different direction. But I think, like, I have to still be organised somewhat, because otherwise it could just go insane and the story wouldn't even make sense if I didn't structure it a certain way. So this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to like start things off so there's a bit of structure to it, but at the same time I want people to be able to be creative and feel like they're contributing to some of the stuff that happens in the story. So this is the ideal way to do it so far, I think, but we'll see. You never know, we might all have to alter things as time goes on if we feel things could work a different way, but so far this method seems to be a good way. Do you stream your game? Yeah, you do. Oh, awesome, Hunting Swan. Feel free to tell us about your game. We actually have a channel in our Discord, a creative work channel, and I encourage people to share their stuff in there. So totally, if you wish to join, you're welcome to tell us more. And hi Robson, how are you doing today? Carol the Barrel, and yeah, that also includes putting a link to your stream in there as well, just to let peeps know. I don't mind people self-promoting their work, as long as they're a community member, and it's, you know what I mean. I'd feel a bit weird about it if, say, somebody I'd never heard of before just comes in with their link without asking for permission. But it's totally fine if you hear like somebody like Elite. I always talk about his game in this stream and ask him what he's doing, because Elite's is an awesome community member here. How would you like our submissions to be formatted? Not like physical format, but do you want us to write a narrative where it's a linear story, or would you prefer more of an outline with bullet points, general idea, you know, something more bare bones? Well, let's get the paint file up again. This is kind of what people have done in the past. They've just literally wrote either a short sentence. I don't kind of put like a ideal length. I'd say anywhere between a sentence, a single sentence, or a couple of paragraphs for your submission. Like, I'd say what was submitted here, this particular one, would probably be the longest. So don't go too over the top, if you know what I mean. Don't do a massive huge long one, because it could get a bit overwhelming to if it goes on that long. But somewhere between a sentence and a couple of paragraphs. And it's totally up to you. If you want to do bullet points, and you know, you've got the freedom to organise it how you want, as long as it works as a story in a similar style to how I've written it and it all follows on smoothly, I guess. So yes, let's get it up. I feel like I'm taking forever to write this, but no issue at all. I've kind of expected this stream is literally going to be just the submitting the story, because there's going to be a lot of talking, as there always is, and I encourage that. I love answering questions and just rambling on, to be honest. All the hard work and focusing time comes off stream for me when I work on the game off stream most of the time. Right, so let's carry on doing it, but I'll probably pause while I'm writing it now and again to see what chat is saying, as I always do. I've been cultivating an RPG makers community on Twitch. That's fantastic, Elite. And I'd definitely love to meet more people that are working on RPG maker games. So maybe there's a way to connect us, I guess. I hope so. That'll be cool. We'll support each other. I can do it because you're so kind too. Yay. Elite is elite. Careless Rex is a charmer. Feel like I should make a Discord group for RPG maker people on Twitch. Everyone has their own, but there's no... I'd say that's a good idea. It's a good starting point, Elite. I mean, I have mentioned that in the near future I'd love to make a team myself, but that would be a while into the future, if you know what I mean. But for an early stage, I guess something like that would work well to kind of connect people doing similar projects. I say go for it, Elite. I watched your YouTube videos past few weeks. The skill tree ones were fascinating. Thank you, Hunting Swan. Did you find me on YouTube? Because if so, that is great. Because sometimes you know, YouTube can be difficult to discover your content on. So awesome if so. No, Rose, this stream is going to be us distracting you because we love hearing you talk about the things you're passionate about. Well, I don't complain. I don't want anyone to think for a moment that I don't like responding to chat or answering questions, because that's my favourite part. Otherwise, I just wouldn't stream and I'd just do all this off stream. I was hoping to right have no stream, but I waited till 2:30 PM and didn't see you live. No worries at all. There'll always be a time in the future. Who knows? I look, but thank you very much. Cat type TY for the compliment. Careless Rex is the best at giving compliments. He makes people blush. He makes me blush. Carol the Barrel confesses I bet you're wondering what on earth Carol the Barrel confesses. Like, this has been here for like what, the last 15 minutes now. And people are like, what is Carol the Barrel confessing? But I'm just trying my absolute best to make the plot link together as best as possible. I want this story to make people want to continue playing the game and wondering what's going to happen next. So that's kind of my goal, to make sure everything is exciting and making sure everything kind of makes sense, which is going to be difficult because this game is going to be like a mixture of crazy bonkers and wacky ideas, but I'm going to be trying my best to make it all make sense along the way. Okay. Do I write the hero in capitals? I'm actually not sure now. I'm going to check the Instagram because I want to make sure I'm consistent. Now, I wrote it in lowercase. So when referring to the main character, they're always referred to as the hero because they're a custom character and you can give them your own name and also pick their gender. So call them they as well, because he or she, it's not necessarily a boy or girl, it's all depending on who you as the player pick for your custom hero. But if you do make a typo or anything like that and refer to the hero as a he or a she, that's no worries. I'll just literally just change that bit when writing the Instagram story. So it's not the end of the world if something little like that happens. I had to do something like that with the first submission because somebody said it was originally Nigel Buckington's brother. Somebody mentioned the innkeeper's brother, but I changed it to sister because we'd already fleshed out her as an NPC, so it had to be sister. So if there's ever anything like inconsistencies like that, I'll just make a small edit, but I'll obviously try and be as loyal as possible to your submission of the story for whoever wins. Doesn't have to be completely plot hole free. People are willing to budge with that in quirky kitchen sinky games. Obvious plot is important, but it's not crucial to be waterproof. Yeah, and I think that takes the pressure off as well. It doesn't have to make sense, and that's the point of this game. It's a fantasy story. It doesn't always have to make sense, but I suppose the main goal is that it is exciting, you know what I mean? Even though it's bonkers, there's something about the story that keeps people interested. I wouldn't want it to end up one of those games where people are like, oh, this is convoluted and way too confusing. It just doesn't make sense. It goes all over the place. So my goal is to make it a fun story among all the craziness, I guess. Plot is not my strong suit. I'm more of a battle mechanics animation guy. That's awesome. We've all got our strengths and weaknesses. I would say I'm a jack of all trades. I can work a bit in everything, but definitely mainly more the creative side for me. Than the maths. Anything with the numbers, that's my weaker side. So the skills, it's probably not my strong point. Coming up with the skill ideas I'm not as too bad at, but it's implementing them that's the challenge for me, because it involves numbers. Loyalty in this economy, Rose, you are a paragon of justice. I'm loyal to all of you. I'm going to make sure that whoever wins this submission for the next part of the story will get the idea they want it brought to life in the game. They'll see a cutscene of their idea and it'll be cool. It'll be awesome. I'm excited. So on the way, Carol the Barrel confesses she's seen Rose before. So my motive for that was linking two characters together to start a sort of connection between them, because we've already got that with Carol and the hero. There's been a bit of banter between them, so now I've connected Carol and Rose together, and the hero asks for details and a flashback begins. So at this point there's going to be a little flashback where Carol is gonna give us a bit of information on her past. It's not going to be too long, probably a few minutes, the flashback, and it'll be an opportunity for us as a community to like think of some really cool ideas for what we can do in the flashback. I actually already have a very, very rough outline of what's involved in this flashback, so don't talk about this part in your submission idea. This is something that's already kind of decided, sort of. There's still a lot of rough things that need tidying up with it, and that's where, when we have that cutscene stream for the flashback, we'll do it together. We'll tie up any like odds and ends then. And I'm not going to tell you yet what that flashback is. Well, I am, because I'm about to write a brief summary on what the flashback is. But it's all going to surprisingly tie in with the painting, and you'll see why in a minute. And let's catch up with chat. Seen a lot of your emotes lately, but maybe I overlooked the words. Yeah, Neffel always puts these super cute emotes in chat, don't you, Neffel? Hi, Almezing. It's like amazing, but Almezing instead. Welcome to the stream. Came for the RPG Makers, down for the accent. Thank you. Oh, thank you for the compliment. I like accent compliments. And yeah, RPG Maker's fun. So if you're new here and you're curious what we're up to, we're writing the next part of the story today, and I always start it off and then I let the community submit ideas for the next part of the story. So we have an Instagram here that we're gonna like consistently update that with the story over time. We also have a project command, so if you actually want to read about the project in general, that's the command that'll tell you more. But thanks for being here. Mog's falling over at the moment. I'm going to have to move his legs a bit. Keeps falling. Checking in, making sure I didn't miss you. Yeah, we might make sure everyone here feels welcomed. And yeah, totally feel free to lurk, Neffel. No pressure at all. No pressure at all. I love lurkers. I need to see how RPG Maker works for my fanfic. Awesome. If you're doing a fanfic, if you want to tell us more about it, or we've got a creative work channel in our Discord, so share your work with us in there. If you're curious, it's here. I'm here in the Discord now and it's right there. So feel free to join, no pressure at all. I'll never force anybody to join, but if it's something that interests you, then totally be good to have you here with us. So, bet you're curious what this flashback actually is. So we're going to give Carol a bit of story, give her a bit of past, flesh her out a bit more. And I'm going to be brief about it because I want you guys to potentially come up with some really cool ideas for Carol's past when we do this flashback sequence, but there's going to be a rough idea of what that past is, just like a brief outline of it. So I'm going to just literally write a sentence on what it is. I don't want to ramble on too much in this submission, because the game itself, when we do the cutscene and the dialogue, will expand on it all. I try to keep the submissions as concise and summarised as possible. It turns out Carol was separated Carol is a bit of a, how should we describe Carol? What's that Japanese term? Tsundere? That is basically the personality we had planned for Carol. She's got a bit of sass, a bit of attitude, even a bit of a bully, actually, Carol the Barrel is, but she's got a heart of gold underneath all that, but it just doesn't easily get shown or revealed. So, oh, have we got a typo here? It turns out I've always spelled that word wrong. That's it. A bit more than just sassy, yeah. A bit violent even. I mean, she's already punched the hero the first second in the game. She's a crazy barrel. And she will be a romanceable option, by the way. So even though I've put here that Carol has a sort of family, that is her. There's more barrels in the story. She's not the only barrel. She's got some barrel companions and she has a child. But she's probably not got a husband or anything. She might have had one at one point, or maybe there was never a husband. Maybe she just had a brief encounter with a male barrel and her son was conceived. Who knows? But because she's a romanceable option, we're going to keep her a single barrel. Because of that. So, but we probably won't introduce the romance part of the game until we get to the city, because there's a particular character that's going to be in that city that is going to unlock the romanceable option. But it's pretty insane. We get a barrel can be romance. That's how crazy our game is. You can check her VODs to see. Oh gosh, I'm missing chat, to see more function heavy players too. And yeah, you can check the VODs on Twitch, or you can check them on my YouTube channel. I'd super appreciate the sub, guys, or any likes on my vids will be super helpful. I think it goes a long way for discoverability. I think it does anyway. I'm pretty naive on how the algorithm works on YouTube, but it's awesome if people are actually finding me on there. Story is cyberpunk themes. Oh, that sounds cool. I like a bit of cyberpunk. It's kind of a genre that isn't really... So fantasy's very common, but sci-fi not so much. We got a lot of that. We do. We're very lucky to have a lovely bunch of RPG Maker fans in this stream, and maybe over time we'll meet even more. Is she an actual barrel? She is. Do you want to see a picture of her? I'm going to copy and paste this just in case it doesn't save when I switch channels. But somewhere here there's a picture of Carol. here. Here's Carol. She's one of the only few assets I've designed from scratch. I tried to keep her consistent with how the assets actually do look. So there she is. She's lovely, isn't she? She's absolutely lovely. So we are, from this flashback that I've just talked about, I've kind of made it clear that there are other barrels in the game. She's not the only sentient barrel in Raindrop Chronicles. They're actually a race. I suppose they're a race. But it's quite interesting because there's a lot of question marks on if the rest of the world realise these barrels are sentient, or whether it's a secret. The hero only knows that Carol's sentient because she's interacted with him, but ordinary folk might not actually realise that the barrels can actually talk. Who knows? Right, so back to here. Oh yeah, it did, unfortunately, get rid of it, but I copied and pasted it because I'm smart. Otherwise we'd have lost all that. So here we go. Right, so we're going to have a little cutscene in the near future. We're going to make it together on stream, and it'll show the day that Carol was separated from her family and her friends, and it's going to be sad. It's going to be tragic, maybe. But yeah, Carol is convinced that Rose knows where they are for some reason. We don't know how she thinks this, but the flashback will probably show how Rose knows. But the interesting thing about Rose is that she can't speak. She only speaks in like animal language. She hisses and she makes like sounds like an animal would, because she's very feral. She's a feral vampire. So this is frustrating for Carol because the only person that knows where her family are is somebody that can't even talk. So yeah, very, very unlucky there, Carol. Amazing. Jesus, saviour of barrels, yeah. I'm learning to draw characters myself, but it's hard. That's awesome, Al. I admire anybody that does that. Like, this project isn't really an art project. I'm kind of using existing resources. It's more of a game design and writing project, really. But because if we did do everything from scratch, we would be here a very long time, and the speed of the project's development would be very, very slow. And one of the goals of this stream, one of the visions, is to kind of get out a reasonably fast-paced project. We kind of hope in episode 1 will be released halfway through next year. That's kind of the goal at the moment, but things could change because we know what game dev is like, but we'll see. The plot twist: Carol is covered in rare moss, the spores of which have infuriated the hero's lungs and sinuses. Carol is actually sentenced or just hallucination. Oh my goodness. Imagine if that's how it ended. Right, okay, so let's just carry on the next bit. It's not out of the ordinary for movies to do something crazy like that, is it? So who knows? Who knows? There's a lot of stuff like is going to be decided in the final chapter. Anything big or we don't know how the thing ends. Nothing is set in stone in this because it's all improvised. I'm banning killing off characters as well until the final or penultimate chapter. So I'm going to put that up as a rule just so people know when they're doing their submissions, just in case. But there's not going to be too many rules. It's like just a couple. So okay, so how much more are we going to write? We're about halfway through. Despondent means like sad, doesn't it? I think it does. Hope it's the right meaning. Sometimes I want to check to make sure. Oh, Carol is a new life form created by the symbiosis of moss and barrel, like how mitochondria and different creatures before animal cells ate and incorporate them. Oh, this is so cool. It's even been speculated that there's a village full of barrels somewhere in this world. That was brought up at one point, where they all live together in harmony. and nobody ever disturbs them or uses them for transportation. They live in peace. Okay, so should we start a new paragraph? I think we could start a new paragraph from this point. So this is the next part, when they reach the destination. The destination is where they're going to be, guys. This is where the fruits are going to be when they reach the destination. And if anybody's new here and has only come here in the last like 20 minutes or so, and you weren't here at the start of the stream or yesterday's stream, you might not know what I'm talking about now, but there's fruits in this game. That's the first boss. Have we got our screenshot of them? I hope we have. Here they are. I'm going to just show them you. We had a vote yesterday, and all of them are going to be the first boss, and we might potentially add a fifth, but I'm going to leave that. I'm actually going to leave the decision about the fifth one open for now and see what your guys' submissions are before we set anything in stone with that. But how bonkers is that for a boss? It's actually based on the original artist who did this had actually done a slime. They were a slime wearing a hat, but I turned it forest themed. And right, so the painters. So this is how the next part of the story is going to all link in. It's all to do with painting. So, and this is why this boss was perfect, because it all just connects narratively, like really, really cool. And that's why ultimately I decided that had to be the boss. But future bosses and future boss piles that we do will probably be a little bit less specific than that particular one. So I only gave you the choice of the colour that time. But I will probably put lots of different type of bosses on the pile in the future. Killer vegetables, do you? I like that your game is just as crazy as ours. Perhaps the moss is native to the woods around that village. Guys, don't forget these ideas. I'm telling you now, you're full of creative ideas. Squishy cutie fruit is. Who's your favourite of the fruits? Who's your favourite one? I think apple seemed to top the pile. Apple got 5 votes, and I think it was blueberry that got 4, plum got 3, and tomato got 2. Poor tomato is the least loved. It's an onion who jazzed the cat. Yeah, please share it on the Discord for sure. That sounds fab. I love it. Okay, when they reach their destination, they see a painter's easel. Right, so if you were in yesterday's stream, you probably saw the sprite for that. I was showing that off, so I will be taking a screenshot of that with the slides next to it, because I'm going to put a few reference images so people can actually see the fruits, because some people might not have seen them, and because we're going to be talking about them now, it's important that people know what we're referring to in the story. So I'll either put those pictures underneath, or I'll put them on the submissions here section, because that's where I'm going to be taking you. I'll be putting a link to it. Actually, we could always do that now. I'll do it after, it's fine. If it was just one, apple would be best, but I think tomato will be cute with the others. Yeah, when they're a group, I think tomato works wonderfully. It's just great how they've all got a personality. Yeah, you know what I'm looking forward to? The cutscene and the dialogue with them all. I want you guys to come up with some really funny liners. It'll be fun. I'll try to think of some too, but some of you might be funnier than me. Okay, so they see the painted eagle. Okay, so totally something's going to happen next. cannot type. Okay, so there's literally only a bit more left now. So that's it. That's all we're gonna have. So I've ended it where they encounter the fruits. That is the final bit that you guys are gonna continue from. And so yeah, Carol has a smart idea. She thinks Rose can't speak, but she can paint. So she's told her to paint a picture with her blood. Because Rose is a vampire, so it's great. She can use her blood to paint, because there's no paints there. The actual fruits are holding the paint themselves. It's awesome. So I kind of do know what that picture's going to be, what Rose is going to paint, but I wanted to do it myself. It'd be like Pictionary. I'd draw it, but it would be crappy. It would be crappy, but I can do a rough idea. But I'm gonna allow the community to potentially do their own version of it if they wish, if anybody is a good artist. So that's optional, but you know, we can have an image for now, but it doesn't have to be the final one. But I'm going to put that as a reference image as well, with the picture of the fruit somewhere. Super fruit friends, we're super fruit friends. Wait, aren't tomatoes vegetables? Yeah, tomato is definitely the angry one. The angry emo. Bless him. Okay, so I'm going to just enter that, make sure it's working and all set up properly. Something's wrong with it. I think maybe because I've put it on 2 lines it didn't work. Yeah, it's worked like that. Or I could do that. Yeah, that's worked. In fact, I'll put a separate line there so there's a break. Oh no, it doesn't work like that. That'll do. It's not too long. Don't go on for too long. At least I was wondering if it would be way too long, but that isn't too bad. So the next bit, I'm having that bit bolded because I want it to stand out. But when I write the rules and that stuff, I'm not going to bother bolding that bit. Okay, so now I have to take you guys to where you've got to submit. This is where I have to write the instructions down clearly. Where's the email I'm after? Yeah, there it is. The one that gets the most will be what happens next? Finish the incomplete paragraph yourself by going to submissions here, or vote for what others have submitted. The one that gets the most hearts will be where the text on. Yeah, don't feel pressured to write a submission. If you don't have any ideas, you don't have to. Don't feel forced. But the vote, doing a heart for your favourite, will be super appreciated. So that will take you there. This is where all submissions go for the main story and community polls. To enter your submission, type main story submissions or community polls and then your submission. So this is an idea of how it works. You put the command of that in front and then your sentence, and it'll automatically be put straight in that one. It's super organised and cool. And then you can vote. Carol the Barrel's automatically voted. So I'm going to delete that obviously because that's just an example, but that's how it works. And if you go in there now, you'll see that it's closed at the moment, and I'm going to open it very shortly. I just want to get a few little notes put in, a few little rules put in place before we actually open the submissions, and then we'll just do that. But hopefully that's clear and there's no confusion there. So let me just have a little think about what we can write, because there's a few things we need to clarify. I want to put the links to the previous chapters up just so people can see what happened before in the story. I also want to put a picture up of the fruits, the easel where it is and the little slime around, and also a picture of the painting that Rose does before they get interrupted, that is. And also just a few little notes, like to say what's not allowed, such as don't kill off a character, but there's only a couple of things to say. And just maybe a few ideas, like to give you some, to get those creative juices flowing. I might put a few little rhetorical questions that in, but I don't know where to put them. I could either put it underneath here, or I could just add it here. I'm thinking of adding it here because I want to keep this channel as tidy as possible. I don't want to overload it with text, so I might put it here actually. Do you have an idea for how long submissions will be open? Oh, well, that's a good question, Zexy. I'm thinking until the end of the week at the moment. I think it's hard to judge because I'll give you an example. The first time we did this, we got quite a lot of submissions in and votes quite fast, and I only had it open a day or two. But the second time we did it, things were a lot slower. The submissions were slower, so I kept it open for 2 weeks that time. So I'm going to make the judgment based on how many and how fast we get submissions. If we get quite a lot, I'll probably keep it open a couple of days maybe. What day is it now? Tuesday. So I would close it the last stream of the week on Thursday at the shortest. But if things are a bit slower, I'll keep it open throughout the weekend as well. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. And I'm not going to do my submission yet. I am thinking of doing a submission, but I'm going to wait. I'm probably going to submit mine tonight or tomorrow, I think. I want you guys to do some before me this time. Because if I do it first, the votes might go to me too fast, and I want to give others a chance. Try not to marry Rose in the game. I don't know if Rose is going to be romanceable yet, but she could be. We're gonna wait and see and discuss that when we get the romance system in place. So we'll see. I don't know about marrying though, but romancing, we'll see. I think putting it in the submissions here is a great idea. That way we can look and the rules and prompts while we're typing. Yeah, I think that's the smart idea actually, Zexy. Thank you for your input, because originally I was going to pop it underneath in here, but it's going to all get messy. There'd be too much, and the story, my submission, I want my submission and your submissions to all be close together. I don't want all this crap that you have to scroll through to read between them. So yeah, I'll pop them in here, I think. And also, Zexy, thanks for your ideas about the crafting system. We're probably going to start thinking about that very early in the new year, I'd say. An item stream will be an important one to do, and it'll either I was tempted to start it in December some point, but I think doing things like that will be good in the new year once we come back from the Christmas holiday and stuff. But it'll be exciting. And hi Val, how are you doing? Still recovering from getting my tonsils out on Wednesday, so gonna lurk here for a bit while signing in and out to sleep. Feel terrible and would not recommend it to anyone. Oh no, I can't even imagine how painful it would be to have your tonsils out. I hope you get better soon, Val. Sending you all the hugs. Okay, so right, let's get the images in we need and note down the rules and some thoughts to consider, and once we've done that I'm going to open this. So now is the best time to think of your story. If you want to not make a few notes, then you'll have something to write as soon as I open it. So but yeah, I hope, have you all seen it? I hope if you want me to copy and paste it and pop it in chat, I will do, because that way you'll get to see it, because you might not remember. Takes all the hugs, yay. Yay. That's a funny emote, hunting. Okay, so there's a couple of things that are really important to get down here. I'm probably gonna, I might as well start a new message to write these down, I'd say. So a really important one to get down is our previous chapters, because people won't, it'll really help people probably to read what's already been written to maybe inspire a few ideas. And just so you know what happened before, like when Fiona Buckington requested Rose to be sacrificed to the monster and stuff. I use that as the bullet point, and we got our links. Chapter 1, part 1. So hopefully that'll work. Also, what was I talking about when I said I'll copy and paste and chat? You guys could just go in the Discord and see it. Duh, I'm silly. Oh, anytime I'm trying to keep a log of everything that gets brought up while I'm in chat to bring in the Discord. I figure if I have a question about something that we talk about, other people will. So I should ask for the people who might be too shy. Yeah. That's awesome, Zaxi. I appreciate that. Appreciate it, tons. Okay, so. Small blue diamond. I'm also using the small blue diamond emoji for our character sheet bullet points in the Discord as well. And I will be getting Elite's and Juice's character sheets done, I promise. Maybe tonight I'll get them done and pop on Twitter. So hype time. I'm being the slow coach of the character sheets this time. It'll be super fun to get them up. Okay, so previous chapters, and that should work. Let me know if there's a problem with any of the links, everybody. But I think they should be fine. Okay, so should we get some rules in? I feel like the rules should go first. That. Also, I'm going to zoom in a bit so the text is actually visible. There we go. You can see a bit better now, yeah? I want you all to be able to see what I'm writing and not have to squint. Okay, so rule number 1. And I don't want to be too like rigid or strict, because it's very important I allow you guys freedom, but at the same time, and I want the story to keep organised and not go completely crazy, if you know what I mean. So it's finding that balance. So there has to be a couple of rules for that reason. but your submission can be as short as one sentence or as long as a couple of paragraphs. So I'm just going to get that rule in just in case, because you never know. Somebody could literally write a novel, like, you know what I mean? Somebody could really go all out, and I mean, I love the creativity, but at the same time, there has to be a limit somewhat. And what do you guys personally think on that? Does anyone think we should allow more than a couple of paragraphs? Because people might actually think we could potentially allow a bit more than that. Or do you guys agree that we shouldn't go too much? Too long? What are you thinking? Like, how long would your submissions be, for example? Because I know for mine, I try to keep them short and concise, but some people might like that freedom of writing quite a lot, and I don't want to potentially limit you guys, but at the same time there has to be some sort of limit. 5 sentences, yeah, and some sentences can be long or short. I mean, I've put it can be as short as 1 sentence, and a sentence could even be just 4 words, you know, but it could also be quite long. It all depends. But at the end of the day, people are voting, and I'd say people are more likely going to vote for something that isn't too long, because people get bored if they have to read too much. So people are more likely going to read a submission that's, you know, a reasonable size, perhaps. I would say not too long. If I were told a limit, not told it. You would you ramble on, Azrael? Would you write a novel? Hi, who won? Hi, Doc, how are you doing today? All of them won, the rainbow. So we're going for a gang of fruits, so that's going to be really fun. We're going to be fighting them all as a first boss. So they're not going to be too OP because of that reason, because there's going to be a few of them. Whereas if there was just a single one as a boss, it would have been pretty strong. It would have been a bit of a tank, wouldn't it? Because we can't make bosses weak. But I think it works quite well. I'm very happy with the outcome, and I wouldn't have been annoyed if just one won either. We would have thought of something awesome for that as well, I'm sure. But I am happy with the outcome. And thank you for the votes, everybody. What I did like was that people weren't peer pressured either. People did vote for a singular fruit if they felt they just wanted that. We weren't all peer pressured into going for the rainbow, which I was happy about as well, because I'd never want anyone to feel forced to go with the popular vote. You're all allowed your own minds. I don't know, 3 sentences. I think we'll keep it as a couple of paragraphs. I'd say that, because that gives a bit of room for people to write something cool, but at the same time it's not too crazy, is it? So a few paragraphs is generous, so people know what they need to keep it short, but can still decide what short means. So should we say couple or few? What do we reckon, chat? Feel free to type in chat, and I'll see what the majority think. Because couple and few are very different, aren't they? Couple generally means just 2. Few could mean 4 or 5. And we could potentially get a novel put in if we have a few. And I'm not against that. Like, if someone wants to write... I know Discord has a character limit anyway on a message, so... But it's quite long, Discord's character limit. I think it's 2k characters, I think, which is quite big. It might be 2k, I'm not 100% sure. Just showed up. What kind of store is this contest for? Hi Metic, welcome to the stream. How you doing? We're writing the next part of our game story today, so it's a fun one of my favourite types of streams, I have to say. So feel free to join in if you wish, but it all does take part on the Discord. We do it on Discord rather than poll sites, because with poll sites the trouble is people can go incognito and cheat. We did a test of that very early on, and we found that it could easily be abused. So it felt that Discord was the ideal place, because you can't, you know what I mean, everyone can only get 1 vote for each username then. So it felt like the best solution. I have another question. Should our submission just cover what happens from when the party meets the fruit up until the battle starts? See, these are cool, and I want to also write a few things just to give you guys some sort of ideas so you're not stuck. So I'm going to write a few rhetorical questions down and give you a few like little guides. So I might anything you ask I might clarify here in this little rules section now. So should our submission just cover what happens from when the party meets the fruit up until the battle starts? So yes, I'd say so. So we can see, where does it end? Let's go back. The last sentence is the fruit. They encounter the fruits. So you guys would start from that point. Is there anything in particular you felt like you wanted to talk about? Maybe I'm curious. A good rule might be if you run out of character limit, you've written too much. 2k. I ran into that problem with. Oh, did you? Yeah. Well, I feel like that's the thing. There is a character limit, so yeah. But did we decide the language of the fruits? We haven't yet, Doc. But this is where you can do it. You know, this is submission time now. And the thing about now, it's very clear people are going to have their own really cool creative ideas. We've already had one from I forgot who it was now. Van said something, and then somebody else said something, and Elite has also said something, and everybody's got their own individual separate ideas, and obviously we can't go for all of them. We can only pick a certain one, can't we? This is like the whole concept of not being able to please everyone. But this is what we do. We're going to have a submissions contest, I guess, and you're going to vote on your favourite submission, and the one that gets the most heart reactions will be the one that where we take the story. So if you're interested in doing a submission, anybody in chat, then today is the day. But don't worry, because I am planning on having this open for at least a couple of days minimum. So if you have to go off and do something, don't panic. But the earlier that you do get your submission in, I will say you've probably got more chance of getting the votes, because it's likely, isn't it, the earlier you submit. But not necessarily. If your submission idea is really good, you can probably get away with a late submission. Oh, I missed your message, Rex. No, a couple of paragraphs are fine. 5 to 10 sentences should be around the limit for sure. Cool. Okay. Yeah, we'll keep that what we had as it was. Sorry, I missed your message. I just was scrolling back through chat, and I was like, sometimes I can miss stuff, guys, and it's never on purpose. I promise you that. Okay. Did we? Yeah. I think they should have a fluby kind of thing, like floob. Yeah, and things like dialogue. We will have a proper dialogue stream, and where we expand on the winning submission. And like we make a special flow chart and really go into detail about what each dialogue box is going to be, and that's always fun as well. So your submission will probably be just more of a general thing. It's okay to put a bit of dialogue in your submission though, if you want to organize it like that. I know we've sort of done that here. If you have a look, chat, there's a bit of dialogue in these examples, so it's totally fine to use dialogue in your submissions, but obviously we can't put every dialogue line in, because there is a character limit with the submissions, but we will be able to expand and flesh things out more when we do the dialogue stream. But anything that's like a really key line of dialogue that you might want to mention, totally you can put that in your submission. Because for example, just this one here, we've only got a few lines, but the real cutscene has way more than that. It's way more expanded on. These are just summaries, really, your submission ideas. Okay, so back to the Discord. So your submission can be as short as 1 sentence or as long as a couple of paragraphs. I think, yeah, let's keep it like that then. Oh, you are the cold-blooded vampire. Hi, Capybara. Welcome. I am a cold-blooded vampire. Look how pale I am. Although I do admit the lighting does make me look a bit whiter. I am still pale in real life though, but perhaps not quite as pale. And welcome. I hope you're having a good day, Cappy. Oh, no need to apologise. It happens to the best of us. Yeah, it's okay. As long as you don't think I've done it on purpose, because I never would. To be fair, even if our submission isn't the one that wins, the game is still going to be a lot of fun because we're putting so much love into the game, and if our idea isn't used here, we can canvas it for something else. Oh, exactly. And even say, I mean, I've said this in the past to people that didn't win. I've said that we could potentially bring your idea in somehow, in a small way, whether it's in a future side quest if it fits, or whether we reference it in a line of dialogue somewhere. Like, that's always possible, just to give credit for anything that was awesome that perhaps didn't win. And even like, say, if there was a really cool idea and it didn't win, it came runner-up or third or something, then we can, like you say, can always bring it in again at another point in the story. There's going to be lots of other bosses, other creatures, other villages where any cool ideas you have can be recycled in some way. So there's always going to be a lot of opportunities, and I'm not going to like ban you from doing that. Like, I'm not going to say you did that last time in the last, so you can't do that. You're totally allowed to put in whatever submission you like. I can see the fruits getting their own comic series. Oh my god, that duck, that's fab. You know what I want to see now? I want to see some fan art of our fruits. I'd love to see that. I want to see fan art of Carol the Barrel and Stumpy as well. That would be badass. Who knows, maybe we'll get some artists that do those things in the future. If I did, I would scream that, because it would be like, it's crazy to think anybody would do something like that about a creation of yours, if you know what I mean. I think fan art's a very flattering thing. I can't wait to play it. Yay, I can't too. And I'm very happy that we're keeping this game free to play. I mean, it's very easy for somebody to think I'm going to make money out of this. I'm spending so much time making this game, so I'm going to put a price tag on it. Like, that wouldn't be out of line if I did that. Any like game devs, people deserve to make money from their products for sure. It's but I've chosen not to, because I want this project to be available for everybody, and I want it to be exposed to as many people as possible. And I feel if I put the price tag on it, some people will obviously not play it if it's not free to play. And I just want people to play the game and it to be out there, if you know what I mean. For my first project especially. And there's just a lot of reasons. The whole fact that I'm using a lot of currently already available resources for the project asset wise as well is another reason it's free to play, because there's always a risk of you getting in trouble if you're using somebody else's resources for a commercial project. But not always, because a lot of artists allow you to do that with commercial projects. So not always, but sometimes you might miss out on something. There was a particular, I can't remember what it was now, but there was something in particular that was for only free projects, and I wouldn't have been able to use that if it was commercial. Okay, so next rule, be creative. Okay, so this particular rule is actually in our FAQ, so some of you might have seen this one before. Okay, so this was already in the FAQ anyway, but I feel it's important to also put it here. Mainly because our game is family friendly. It's going to be a PG-13 game. There is a brothel in our game, but it's not going to be nothing graphic in the brothel scenes. It's all going to be very PG-13. There can be humorous innuendos. For example, Carol the Barrel, the first line of dialogue she ever says is something about the hero being inside her, which is a bit lewd, let's admit that, but I think it's very PG-13 lewd. So being playful, being cheeky, little bit playful innuendos are totally fine in this game, but nothing explicit or graphic. And even things like swear words, we're going to use fictional swear words for Raindrop Chronicles, and we did have a little bit of discussion on some fictional swear word ideas at one point, and we haven't really gone into it too deep yet, but it'll be really cool to think of some at some point. There's more ways to monetize a game, and slapping a price tag on it, all the support you amazing people have shown the project is what it's about anyway. Exactly. And any like support money wise that you guys give me can be done, you know. There's Twitch, like, you know, there's many ways for support, and it's always optional as well. It's whether anybody wants to. It's always a choice. Nobody's forced. Be creative. Oof, I'm out. Unsubscribe now. Nah, just kidding. Yeah, well, it doesn't have to be. Like, you can be simple as well, but I just want people to know it's what's allowed. Like, you can be strange, you can make the story a bit humorous if you'd like, but nothing offensive or racist, obviously, or anything that is going to offend people. I think it's always important to be careful of things like that. So, but at the same time, we can allow little small humorous PG-13 bits, but nothing explicit or over the top or anything graphic. Okay. So, and feel free to make up your own fictional curse words in your submission if you want to, you know what I mean? If you felt like it, or you had a good one, no problem at all. Hello, thank you, Malik, for being so welcoming to the peeps in chat. It would be cool if there's a plugin to have a fan art character art of all the likes on the title screen menu, like how in some games but there's no idea would go about that. Yeah. And I know that the title screens can have like social media links as well. I mean, if anybody ever did fan art of Raindrop Chronicles, it would be put up on the Twitter immediately. And it would probably be put up on the website as well once we get that up and running. Fluba Flupity Flub is the highest insult in fruit language, yeah. And I'm excited because you guys have got a lot of different ideas for our fruits. You've mentioned a fruit language. Elite's mentioned having different personalities, giving them their own like stereotypical individual personalities, which is also really cool too. And who knows, some of your ideas might be a combination of a few things. We'll see. I'm excited. So what else should we say? Okay, there's only really one or two more things. No, where's my diamond? Okay, I've accidentally pasted that twice. Let's get rid of that. Copy and paste that. Okay, so this is a very important rule now. So, characters can't be killed off. It's only episode 1. We're right at the start of the game. So, if Rose died now, that would suck. She's got a skill tree and everything. You know, she's a main character. But I haven't ruled out major characters getting killed endgame. The final episode or the penultimate episode, I'm going to open that possibility up for characters potentially getting killed off, because once they've completed their character arc, I feel you know, it should maybe be allowed at some point, but for now definitely not. And I know if you've been following the story, there's a quest. The quest has asked you to sacrifice Rose to this monster. So it's kind of telling you that Rose is going to get killed off, but it doesn't have to end that way. There's many ways we can avoid Rose dying. And I've like just said, if she's assumed dead, or even if she runs off and escapes and the party don't meet her again for a few in-game hours, that's totally fine. The nature of this game is that we're going to have a lot of specialised classes and playable characters over time. And people will leave and come back at different points in the story. Some heroes might stay with us all the way through, but others might come and go, and that's allowed. Sometimes having that option of characters going for a bit to do their own thing and then meet us again can be quite fun and exciting, because then we get excited when we see them again if we haven't seen them in a long time. So that's totally fine. If anybody had an idea to have Rose separate or something to connect with the sacrifice storyline, but it could go hundreds of ways, you know. Could go hundreds of ways, I'm sure. That is just 2 examples. Felix Waffle, thank you for that follow. That is a cool name. I want a waffle to eat now. Waffles are good. We don't want tears in early game. Well, I'm not going to say that we won't have tears. There could potentially be some side quests or stuff that does that, but it's not going to involve major character deaths, that's all. It might involve minor character deaths or cute little enemy deaths like Stumpy, but not any major character deaths. I blubbed so hard at the end of Secret of Mana, not ashamed to admit that. Yeah, don't be ashamed at all. Being emotional at stories is a really good thing, for sure. And I think it's very flattering to the creator that people get moved by their story. That would be a massive power play on your part, though, having to sit through the skill tree creation and all her discussion just to kill her off 20 minutes after we meet her. Well, if somebody has a submission to make her assumed dead, how much would people panic at that? It'd be like, lame. I love that vampire. She had some really cool skills and she's already dead. That would really frustrate. But really, she's not dead and she's just assumed dead, and then she'll make a secret appearance. That would be cool. Like, that's just an example. You know, you don't have to have that as a submission, but that is an example of how it could possibly go. One of many paths. So, is there anything else we need to write? I love how Elite's popped his little cute emote at the end of mine. Okay, so right, there's just one more thing. One more rule. It's a small one and it's only relevant to this particular submission, so when we do future ones I'll probably remove this one, but the other 3 they'll be consistent rules throughout all our submission processes when we do the story. But this one is in particular about Carol's flashback, and I'm just putting this here to cover myself because I already have a rough outline for Carol's flashback, and that doesn't mean you guys can't give ideas for that, because when we do the cutscene for Carol's flashback, I will totally want to know your thoughts and how we can make the flashback really good, because I only have a very rough outline at the moment of it, and we can really flesh it out and change things around if necessary, if anything works better. But I'm just saying avoid writing about it here so we don't end up going super off track or anything, because what Carol's flashback is something that could really be the main arc in the story potentially. And it links to raindrops, and I'll give you a hint: smuggling and raindrops. If some of you might know that the raindrops are the currency in our game, and they're stored in bottles. And we had a little discussion of how having a weather-based currency would work. It's quite fascinating, actually. But I won't talk too much about that at the moment. We'll expand on that later in the future stream. She spent half the game leveling one party and to turn out to mean antagonist in disguise. Awesome. That's so cool. Love them up too much, they turn around and kick your bum. I actually think that's quite clever, even though some people might find it frustrating. Okay, so let's press enter. Okay, so there's more stuff I want to write. We're not done yet. I want to get the images up, our reference images. I want to get a picture of the fruits up, because some people might think, what are these gang of fruits? Who is that? But if they actually see them, they'll know what they look like, and it might inspire some ideas. And I also want to put an image of Rose's painting as well that she does. And it's going to be very rough. It's going to be like the Pictionary image, I'm telling you. But Rose's image could also inspire some ideas for you as well, for your submission. So I feel like it'll be cool to put pictures of those there. And the other thing I want to do is I want to just put a few rhetorical questions in, because some people might really want to submit things but can't think. That's very common, to like want to contribute but think actually I don't know what to say. So I'm going to just put in some questions, because they might like get your creative juices flowing. Who knows? Don't feel rushed to submit immediately once we open this. It's going to be open for at least a couple of days, potentially towards the end of the week. It all depends how it goes. So you've still got tonight or tomorrow or the day after to submit. But yeah, if you want to get a chance, if you want to really make sure you'll be a winner, the earlier the better, I'd say. Because the humans are corrupt, they're corrupt and exploit the beastmen for their own personal gain. Yeah, and I really I like that. The reptiles are interesting, and I'm not going to talk about this too much now, but because we're going to do streams about this more in the new year. But at some point we're going to be going back to Lakefall and really developing the Lakefall NPCs living there. They'll give side quests that the player can do. Some of the side quests will be available before the first boss, and other side quests won't unlock until you've done the first boss. And there'll be an opportunity to give the NPCs a bit of detail so they're not blank slates. And one thing I wanted to do was have a theme, like the NPCs follow the theme of being very kind of racist against reptiles. The ones in the Everbloom Forest definitely are. They're all human. It's a human-only settlement. So that makes them very narrow-minded. So I'd say that every single NPC that lives in Lakefall is going to be quite narrow-minded and judgmental about the beast races. And I think if we follow that sort of theme for Lakefall, we could potentially come up with some quests about those sort of tropes and themes potentially. I think it'll be, I want to allow you freedom for side quest ideas, but at the same time following a theme will keep things consistent. I think that would be pretty cool. One thing that is majorly important, if there are animals, you have to let us pet them. Yeah, that I haven't actually added any like animals around the Everbloom Forest yet, as in like wild animals, but to like bring it to life a bit I might do, just for detail, because it is a forest. But that will all be done when I start making it even more detailed. The parallax mapping is all done and stuff mainly. There's a few little graphical glitches to fix here and there, I'm also going to turn Lakefall into a parallax map at some point, because I want to just make it look a bit prettier. I want to put a few little flowers around the edge of Lakefall. And there's a few graphical glitches I have to fix as well that can only be done on parallax mapping. I want, yeah, I've already read that bit. Oh, look at you, Val, very close. One more question. Do you want us to limit to 1 submission per person, or if we feel like we have significantly difficulty, we can post both? Oh, Zexy, yeah, I mentioned this earlier in the stream. You might have not been here, but you are allowed to submit more than once. So if you make a submission today during stream, once I've opened it, you can totally make another one again straight after, or even tonight if you think of a new idea. I don't want to limit people. I would be okay with potentially 50 submissions, you know. I think the more options the better. Like, I would not hate it if like they were like coming in like that. I'd be excited by that. So I'm not going to put a limit on you guys submitting more than once, because I think the more ideas there are, the more chance the story can be amazing, because people will vote for the best. If there's loads, the best will get the true best one as the winner, and that's awesome. Hear that, humans, reptiles are not to be trusted. Yeah. Hi Sky Blue, how you doing? Can we squish them too? Squish who? The cute fruits or the reptiles or the humans? I say squish the humans. How dare they judge other races? Yeah, gotta run for a bit, minus this on here is where but pop back later, guys. Take care, Doc. Thanks for hanging out with us, and I hope you have a fun day. Unleash the laser cats on the reptile horde. Those cats look, oh my, I love it because it connects perfectly with your stream, because you've got kitties and you have that laser. That's a really good idea. Okay. Now let's get these rhetorical questions put in. You can see this, can't you guys? I've got my notepad file in front of my screen, so I'm hoping that, because sometimes I do have to keep my OBS, my stream screen up, because sometimes I don't realise I haven't got a screen up, so I have to sometimes look at it to make sure it's there. I very commonly do that because I use a lot of different window captures. What happens to Rose is the hero. Now you can either totally ignore these or you can take them on board. This little part I'm writing now is literally just to make people's creative juices flow if they haven't got any ideas. I feel like I should have added another rule. I was going to say refer to the main character as of the hero. Or do you think I shouldn't bother writing that as a rule? Because that's kind of what we do. But I don't know if that's just common sense anyway, or whether I should clearly state it. But I'm asking you guys to see what you think. What happens to Rose is the hero willing to do what? Demanded, and I'm going to put in brackets what the chapter is that I'm referencing. Chapter 1, part 2. Because then, if anybody's like, what's that? Who's Fiona? They can just click on the previous chapter link then and see what that's all about. Also, if you're spotting typos as well, let me know, because who knows, I might have some. Oops, I wasn't meant to press enter yet, but it don't matter. To be honest, it's quite a good thing that we regularly press enter, because if we don't lose it then. Was the monster. And if anyone has any questions, I can always add them to this if anyone thinks there's anything good that I could add to this. But I'm just thinking of the ones that come to my head. I hope that makes sense. Are the fruits innocent and... If I need to change the wording as well, let me know. If there's anything that isn't clarified, I'd totally change it. Even if it's common sense, it doesn't hurt to anything to state it. Yeah, I might add that as an extra rule then. Yeah, and this is why I'm putting this, just to like really clarify things, because some people might not actually know that this whole quest is about sacrificing Rose. That's how chapter 1 part 2 ended, with the little girl asking Rose to be sacrificed to this monster. And I suppose it's a big question to think, well, are the fruits that monster? Is it actually monsters plural, cannot say the word, or is it actually just a big old lie and they were paranoid and the fruits aren't the monster at all and they have no interest in eating any human? Maybe they do, maybe they're actually really, really evil. Maybe just one of the fruits are evil and the others are nice. There's just thousands of ideas, you know, it's endless where it could go. Yeah, and I'm going to put that paint in there. I'm going to put that as a heading actually underneath here. Don't need to have important now, we'll just have reference images. So what I'm going to put there is a picture of the fruits as a reference image, so people actually know what they look like. Most of you know if you've been in the streams recently, but some people, if they've not been around for a while, they wouldn't have even known about the poll. So they'll probably need to see the fruits. And also Rosie's painting, because part of this story is about Carol telling Rose to actually do a painting on the canvas, because it's an empty canvas at the moment. There was obviously, well, there couldn't have been anything on it because Rose wouldn't be able to paint. But the fruits might not be happy about that. They might think, how dare you? What are you doing painting? This is ours. And I guess it's a question what on earth Rose paints, because whatever it is what she knows and can't communicate via words. And who knows, maybe this could be a regular theme for Rose and how she communicates to people. She could become a painter of blood, and it could be how she communicates. It's always an idea, considering she can't do that. And welcome to the day. Oh my goodness, welcome. Holy butts. I didn't realise there were so many people. Let's welcome you all. But make sure everyone feels welcomed. My tummy is doing a rumble, so I'm going to have to get a snack. I says everyone, I don't want to miss anyone out. Yeah. Okay, so where were we? I just want to make sure before I open the submissions, I really want to do it soon. We've still got over an hour of stream left, so we've got plenty of time, but I want to make sure everything is very, very much made clear, so that nobody's confused. And yeah, I definitely think putting them here is the best place rather than here. It's better to keep this one tidy. Right, so all we need to do now, I was going to add an extra or, wasn't I, saying refer to the hero as the hero. I'll say protagonist. I was going to say, because like they're not a he or she, you know, well, because you have the option, so it's different for every player. For some it'll be a he, for others it'll be a she. So I'll say, I could say a they. The protagonist is a custom hero. As and it's not the end of the world if you accidentally call them a he or she, you know, I'm not gonna ban you. You know, I'll just correct it when we do the Instagram post. But I'm just saying that just to make it easier, just so we keep the consistency. Hi Master Emerald, how are you doing? It's good to see you. I hope you're having a really good day. Snacks, we must be 2 hours into the stream. Yeah, at that 2 hour mark, that's when I get that rumbly tummy. Is that weird, getting hungry every 2 hours? It's quite, because I always eat straight before I stream. But it's like I can't go 2 hours without food. So how's that? Let's read the protagonist of customer here. Okay, so I think that's plenty, isn't it? But obviously if there's anything in it that you feel could be added, then you guys have an opportunity to say. But I think all we need to do now is add the reference images, and then we can open the submissions, everyone. So this is really fun. And main story submissions is where we've got the next part of the story if you're curious and want to read. But currently, even if you go to submissions here, it is closed at the moment. But I will be opening it very shortly once we've got everything finalised. Been having a relaxing art day. Oh, cool. What art things have you been doing? I've got to have a go at my own art in a sec. I'm going to be doing a bit of Pictionary because Rose in our story has done a painting, and obviously I've got to show you guys what that painting is. In some way, I've got to do it, but I'm going to purposely make it look crappy, I think, because it would be kind of cool if Rose does a painting and everybody just doesn't have a clue what it is, just to add a bit of confusion and mystery. And it can, like, who knows, maybe they could like try and decode it. But wherever it is, that's where Carol the Barrel Son is. And I'm really excited to make some more Barrel NPCs, everyone. We're going to make some cuties on stream at some point. Give them some faces, and that would be really fun. We got to make Carol's son a cutie pie. Science suggests that eating throughout the day in small amounts is better for you than just eating 3 large meals a day, so it's not really weird. So that's good. I think people are just shocked because I'm tiny. I'm really tiny. I don't even weigh 8 stone. So people are shocked that I actually eat like an elephant. So I do. I have a huge appetite. Working on Final Fantasy stuff. I've actually got the Kupu con table now. So till then, it's all Final Fantasy. Oh my goodness, Master Emerald, I want to see it all. Mark, I approve because I'm a big fan. I think it's very, very obvious I'm a fan of Final Fantasy, because even my own bit badges are Final Fantasy themed. Okay, so... Oh my goodness, we're getting all the pits done at Discord. This makes me happy. Okay, so welcome everybody. And if anybody wants to join, who hasn't yet, feel free to. This is where we do everything. All our Raindrop Chronicles voting takes place in our Discord. So if you want to be very actively involved, it's the place to be. But it's not just about Raindrop Chronicles. We have a real life section for you to share your stuff as well. Your work, you can post your own work in there, your pets, selfies, anything. So right, so where were we? We're on this thing. So yeah, we got to get those images in. So where's Photoshop? Here we go. So do I still have my image saved from yesterday, the one I put up on Twitter, because we could use that. Let me have a look. I think I did. Am I not saved it really? I must have saved it, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to upload it on Twitter if I didn't. I can't find it for some reason. It's got to be somewhere. Oh, here it is. So yeah, I uploaded this on Twitter yesterday. But we'll crop this. We only need to show all 4 of them. And I know there's been discussion about introducing a 5th member of the gang, a lead. I don't totally do that in your submission. You know, if you think another one should join, you can totally do that. And even if say it doesn't win, if whoever wins, like, as long as it's possible to, you know, we'll see what happens, but we'll see, guys. But what I'm saying is, totally feel free to do what you want. I'm rambling and I need some snacks. So I was awesome. I missed the event in November. I could have gone to the one in BC. I haven't been to any events in ages. It's because I'm a hermit. Fruits. I wonder what the name is that we're going to call these bosses. We're just going to call them Fruit Gang. Fruit Gang. So okay, this is going to be weird now, because if we're uploading images to Discord, we have to do things a certain way. Maybe it'll let us do this. Might have to put them in some separate images though. Okay, so I'm gonna have to remove that, put that somewhere else. The previous chapters, I might put it up at the top. Where do you think a good place for those will be? Because we need reference images to be the bottom one. Could pop it here. That'll work. It's weird seeing reference images there with my name in between it. Let's change things a bit. I'm being a tidy one now. Could do this. Yeah, we'll do it like that. So we're going to label them, of course. We'll call them fruits. From left to right. Apple. blueberry, plum, and now we'll just put tomato. Fruits and left to right, apple, blueberry, plum, tomato, just so people know. Then they know their names as well, so that if in your submission you can refer to them by their name, in case you didn't know, because we have deleted the poll now, so you can't see them that way. So this will be the easiest way to refer to them now. But we also need to put Rosie's painting as well. We could call them Decamafagos, if I haven't said that right. Painted the famous bowl of fruit painting. Oh my goodness, I like that. That's an interesting, that's really good knowledge, and that would be hilarious actually. I mean, I wouldn't have got the reference, but for anybody that does, that would really, they would laugh, I'm sure. And raspberries, but Zexy, consider things like this for your submission, and like I say, you can do more than one. Say if you've got a few ideas but they don't work together as one submission, you can spread them out into multiple submissions for sure if you wish. Hi lads, how you doing? Raspberries, yeah, we don't have raspberries. I thought about it, I thought about adding a raspberry, but I was going to do a pinkish one, but the texture of raspberries is generally quite lumpy, isn't it? And I feel like it didn't look right. So I tended to pick the very round, typical, squishy looking fruits. Apple's not really a squishy fruit, but it still very much looks like an apple. So it works. And I think lemon could totally work as well, for sure. Okay, so we need to do a rose painting, everybody. Let's do a bit of Pictionary. It's time for Pictionary. And so let's get Photoshop open then. And this is the final thing we need to do now before the submission. I think before I start though, I'm going to quickly go on my BRB and get myself some soya milk. Today, not almond, and then I won't be hungry, and then we can get cracking. But we've still got an hour stream, so we will definitely get the submissions open before we finish for the day for sure. I can see us approximately getting it open within the next 20 minutes, guys. So we just got to get this rose painting done first and popped in there, and then I really think that's it, unless anybody has anything they feel we need to add. And if you want to have a read, all you have to do is go to the Discord and you'll see everything. If you want to have a read through, everything should be in there. Okay, so let's pick what's a good canvas size? What's the typical canvas size, everybody? I'm no artist, so I did do graphic design, and I did do an art and design diploma, funnily enough, but I didn't specialise in fine art. I was very digital based. But that looks like, I mean, we don't have to be strict about it, do we? But obviously we want it to look realistic as much as we can. So let's give it a white background. So I'm going to just open RPG Maker just very quickly and show you guys the little the canvas in the Everbloom Forest that we have. I'm doing it myself because I want to check the size of it so we can match it up properly. So here we are. Here they are. Here's our little slime friends. I feel like we should put this in the reference image picture as well. Just a picture of them in game around this easel, so people can see what the scene actually looks like. You know, it's not, I mean, it's not essential, but it could spark some ideas just to see the area. Who knows? So I'll probably take a screenshot of that too. Dava, thank you for the host. I appreciate that. And oh my goodness, Master Emerald, you have the 500 raindrops. GG. I like slipping in educational things into projects. That way people get curious and look into things, effectively tricking them to be excited about learning. I agree. I agree, Zexy. I'm for that for sure. Okay, so I'm going to be back soon, everybody. Plan is to get this painting that Rose does done, put in the reference image section of the submission, and I'll just take a quick screenshot of this in game, and then we can officially open the submissions for you all, and I'm very excited. So anybody who's just popped in, if you're wondering what's going on, we're doing the next part of the story today. It's all here, it's all written up, and it's ready for you all to submit your own ideas, which you can do by clicking here. And the rules, I'm just like getting all that finalised, and once we've done all that, got the images in that we need, we can open it up. And it's going to be open at least 2 days, 2 days at the minimum, potentially over the weekend too. It all depends with how it all goes. If things are a bit slower, I'll keep it open for longer. If things are, you know, get very busy, it might not be open as long. But we'll see. We'll judge properly when it happens. So I'll be back in a couple of minutes, everybody. Oh, has our playlist been off for a while? Yeah, we have. We haven't had any music on for a bit. I've only just realised. Okay, so BRB. I'm going to put some music on for you all while I'm BRB. Okay, I'll see you all shortly. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves if you want, and I won't be long. I have returned. I'm back. Hello everyone. I've got my milk, so time to fill my tummy. You really heck it. Who's epic? Do you mean elite, sexy? Reading everyone else's too. I'm excited too, everybody. I'm literally going to be looking at the Discord to see if there's any new ones all night, like a freak, like a geek. So I'm excited. And if nobody feel pressured to do it straight away, if you want to think overnight, or, well, you know, you've got multiple submissions if you wish anyway. No, there's no limit. If I put a limit on you all and said only one each, you might not, you know, you might want to wait to think something good, but who knows. I think people want to get their submission in fast if they want to get votes. But yeah, don't feel pressured, because not necessarily. Sometimes some really good late submitted ideas might get votes too, you know, if they're good. I mean, throughout the week I'm going to constantly remind people about this. I'm going to talk about it all week on stream and tell people to vote. So okay, so there was one thing I thought about adding while I was getting the milk I forgot about. So let's just quickly do that. The main goal is I'm not finishing streaming until I've opened the submissions, so, but we've got at least 50 minutes and I'm very confident we'll get it open by then. I want to burp. Pardon me. Okay, oops. What's going on here? Discord is being a silly Billy. Why is the arrow going over that? It's going, it was changing, it was all going weird, but I don't know. I want to make the box bigger. Can I do that? Because then I can actually see everything properly. I don't think I can though. I think Discord doesn't let you make it a bigger box, unfortunately. Okay, so I was just gonna make a point. Actually, it wasn't under rules, it was gonna be here. Put it here, probably be here, it's the right part. Maybe that. I wanted to like say consider their law. Feel free to talk about. I don't know if that is clear enough though. I wanna hang on, I'll change the wording of that a bit. Yeah, feel free to be creative with their law, just so people know that that's something to explore with them if they wish in their submission. And I want people to know that if they want to talk about battle mechanics, then they totally can as well, because part of this submission does involve the battle at the end of the day. The last sentence is encountering the gang of fruits. They approach us, so conversation, the battle, all of that is going to involve the aftermath of that battle is all of what your submissions could involve. Right, so what are we doing? Rosie's painting. One thing I do want to do though, and we'll do this first because it's probably a little bit quicker to do this. I'm going to just open the game and take a screenshot of these guys, the area they're in. So I think seeing the area will just maybe give you guys some ideas. Maybe I think seeing the scene helps at least. So just switch to this screen. I won't get the mini map in it though. Oops, that was an accident. Accidentally started the battle with an invisible Jesus. Print screen. There we go. So oops, oopsie oops, going all over the place. Okay, so paint. Okay, so let's get this image saved and uploaded. Fruit. The naming is very untidy and all in my folders. I want to re-sort it all out. Ooh, good job, Nethel. Back to the Discord. What should we label this as? Fruits, the scene where the fruits, scene with fruits. I think that's simple enough to call it. You can see them there. My goodness, there's a lot of stuff in here. But we need to get Rosie's painting as well. Obviously I'll have to change that text as well when we get the submissions open because we'll confuse peeps. Right, Photoshop. Last task now. Final task, and then we can literally open it all up. Okay, so Carol the Barrel knows Rose. Well, she doesn't, but she's seen her before. And she is pretty convinced that Rose knows where her missing barrel companions are. But Rose can't talk, so there's no way for Rose to tell Carol. But very lucky for Carol, there happens to be a painter's easel in the middle of the Evergreen Forest when they get to their destination, and it sparks the idea for Rose to do a painting of where her family are. So she's told Rose to tell her where they are with a picture, and Rose agrees, and she does it with her own blood. So we're going to need a red, and I'm going to do a little Pictionary here. It's not going to be anything fancy, I'll tell you that now. But I'm going to let, if you guys ever wanted to do your own version of what my image is like and make it look a bit more interesting. You totally can. This particular one that I'm using doesn't necessarily have to be the one that we go for as our final. And to be honest, it's going to be rushed, so I won't want it to be the final one anyway. Don't merge, there we go. And I'm not going to tell you what it is either. I kind of might have to tell you what it is at some point, so you know. Because of story reasons, you'll have to know as a community. But at the same time, I'd love to kind of, I wonder what you'd think of it, like how you'd see it. Who knows? I totally don't mind the story taking us on a red herring, as they call it, where that are misleading. Like say if the group, Carol and the hero, look at the page and are like, yeah, that's totally this, and it's not, but it's a red herring. That's fine. Red herrings can be cool on adventures. So that's why I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, because I don't mind a bit of red herring. But at the same time, yeah, I'm purposely going to make it a crappy painting because I don't want it to be too obvious what the clue is. I think having a bit of mystery surrounding what this painting is could be cool, and a bit of decoding, and who knows. So how am I gonna do this? What have we got? Any cool brushes and better ones than the standard ones that look like blood? Let's have a look. Got a lot of nature brushes. Ooh, we've really got blood there. Could use those. I don't know if we got a standard blood paintbrush, so I think they're all just pre-made splodges. Could work though with what I'm trying to do. We'll see. I don't want it to look too perfect. Yeah, I need some free form brush because I've got more freedom then if we're going a bit crazy. But I can't see one that looks like blood though. Is it alright to slightly alter the timeline in our submission, having the fruit and the battle happen before Rose paints the picture and then having her paint after the heroes defeat the fruit? That is fine. Like if your submission, the sequence of events needs to be altered because it works better for your idea, that is totally fine. You know, it's like the main thing is things don't go off track, if you know what I mean. But I think changing the sequence of events is fine, and it won't really make things go off track at all. And I could add that as a rule, or things to consider actually. So I could pop that there, because I think that's a very good point, Zaxi. So feel free to slightly alter the timeline and sequence of events. I'll say sequence of events. Let's just go back on the Discord so we can see all this. And looking at the time, we've still got 40 minutes. So as long as we get this opened up before the end, we're good. So there's no rush. Feel free to slightly alter the sequence of events if it suits your submission better, e.g. Yeah, I think that gets it across enough, doesn't it? Feel free to slightly alter. Oh, there's a typo. If it suits your submission better. Because, like, you know, like when we upload it to Instagram, if I have to, like, you know, make a slight reword on mine to fit with your sequence fence, it's fine. Okay, so there we go. So yeah, we only need to get Rosie's painting in now, and that is our final task, I believe. But if there is anything, any questions like Zexy had, for example, that you want to clarify, now's the time to ask. And if necessary, if I feel it's necessary, I add it to the rules or things to consider. Because sometimes I don't realise, you know, I mean, sometimes you can think, oh yeah, didn't think of that. Okay, so I'm aiming to do something that's a combination of really abstract and not obvious what it is, but at the same time, yeah, it's difficult to do it, but we can. We'll totally pull it off. Because I'm very curious when this painting is done, how you guys will see it and what it'll look like to you, because I know what the answer is, but you know, you guys don't, because I'm not telling you yet. This is true Pictionary. Raindrop Chronicles has become a Pictionary stream. Because I want it to look crappy, but I also want it to look good as well. And I suppose it could be kind of I'm not sure whether I should purposely make it incomplete because they got interrupted, or leave it open, like, you know, could be complete or could not be complete, because like we say, you might change the sequence of events to better fit what your submission idea actually is. I don't know if this is going to look anything like what I'm trying to do, but it's actually quite challenging. We'll go back to that bit shortly because there's another part of the painting to do as well. Let's find a good brush for it, because I want to give the impression it does look like it was made with blood. But like I said, this doesn't necessarily have to be the final that we actually have in the game. It could be added to the inventory or something, you know, like there'll be some way for the player to view it. And it could be added as a key item potentially, and if you click on it, maybe it can show you it. I'm sure we can do something like that. Yeah, none of these brushes I'm looking at are the shape of what I'm trying to do. Let's have a look. It's funny because I thought I was like literally gonna do this in 2 seconds and make it like typical Pictionary, but I'm actually spending time on it now. No, I'm gonna have to make it look really crappy, I think, because I'm not getting the detail I want to get with these brushes. But I don't want to use a standard brush, I want to at least use a cool one, so I'm gonna have a look what we've got. Oh, that's a cool one, but it's a little bit invisible. In fact, I do like that one better than these ones, but it's just a little bit faint. I'm going to experiment and see what we've got here, if we've got any that stand out a bit more. And that looks like chalk. Why is it white? That one's okay. I think that's the look of that one fits more with what we're after than the chalky looking one actually. But there's the second part of the image I need to pull off. But yeah, I'm purposely going to try and make it abstract. Mainly because Rose might be very rushed doing it because of the interruption. She doesn't get a chance to do some did up, mainly because Rose is probably terrible at painting and she's very limited because she's not even got the tools. She's just got her hands and her blood. So she can't do anything like a masterpiece. But who knows? If someone in the community offers to do their own version of this in the future and it is a masterpiece, I'll totally be like, yeah, totally. Oh my goodness, where's that really good square brush gone? Because I did find it and now it's gone. So I want to use that. I need a square brush. Thank you, Gaunt Raindrop, for the follow. My goodness, you've got Raindrop in your name. I love it. Because our game is called Raindrop Chronicles. That's all awesome coincidence. What's up? How are you doing today? Doing great, Gaunt Raindrop. How are you? Hope you are too. If you're curious about our project, then feel free to have a read. And Zexia said wait, so let's read that. Rose is saying Carol's child is in the rainy sky. The party assumed it'll be a location that's constantly raining, but it really is a metaphor for Raindrop signalling that the kid was taken by Carol's struggling partner Carter. Oh my goodness, sexy. And I'm not going to say a word because my reaction will reveal if you're 100% correct or not correct. But maybe I've been a bit obvious. I don't know. But I haven't finished the image yet. There might be something that might throw you still. Who knows? I'm good to hear it. Special effects brushes. What about these? No, we don't want leaves. That's not what we're after. I'm after a really good square brush that's got a bit of texture to it. That's what I'm after, because I've got some square brushes here, but they're very solid. I don't want that look. It looks a bit unnatural. And I'm not going to be downloading any from a website just for this, because this is literally a rough thing, and we will in the future potentially turn it into a masterpiece, but for now we'll just use a really basic Pictionary drawing for now. I bet you the perfect brush is here somewhere, I just can't find it. This square brush is a little bit blurred though. I want a square textured one. Damn it. Just joking around, I'm all about making outrageous guesses that have no chance of being correct. Who knows, you might have been totally right. But we'll see. I'm not going to say anything, because at some point I'm going to like tell you. To be honest, the flashback, when we work on the flashback scene, it'll probably like clear things up a bit. But I kind of gave a clue. I said it's about smuggling and you can connect barrel smuggling and our currency in the game. And I suppose things can kind of be put together from that. But don't forget the party won't, like the hero wouldn't, Carol wouldn't have a clue. Well, Carol might, because she might be in the scene herself, but we'll see. She might be there. But she doesn't, Carol's a little bit ignorant of a lot of the goings on that Rose actually is aware of. That's why Rose knows stuff, but we'll see. Probably, you won't, there's a lot of, it was very vague about what the flashback is. But it could be cool. Right, I'm going to probably just have to just do a normal paintbrush for this, I think. Because they're actually... Oh, we might have one. Oh, we're getting there a bit. I think we might have some stuff. But I don't want to take too long to do this because it's already past. Time's moving on. And we need to get the submissions open before the end of stream. But I think we finally found some textured brushes that I'm after, but whether I'm going to get the look I want, we don't know. Potentially this could work. But honestly, we can definitely do better than this. when we're serious about doing a proper painting of this. Oh my goodness, this is terrible. I'm thinking of using all the same one. It'll make it a little bit more. That'll do. Maybe. Oh, We're nearly done, I think. Nearly. I'd laugh if you knew what it was. This is meant to be a terrible Pictionary that nobody would get. So, purposely meant to be. So if you did get it, I'd laugh. There we go. Perfect. I have 62 followers. Wow. You don't need to label yourself by your follower number. I'll just say that. It's all about you as a person, Gaunt. That's what matters. Won't be today. Oh, well, tomorrow maybe, Val. Tomorrow maybe. You're so close. Okay, so let's get this image saved. I kind of really want to give it like a sort of old canvasy type of background, but we don't have to go all over the top yet. When we do the actual final drawing that's actually going to be in the game as an inventory key item, we will spend some time making it look nice then. But this for a first version will do. As long as people who are doing submissions, who want to do a submission, can see this, and like it might inspire some potential ideas for them. And like I say, you guys don't need to know what this is. If it leads to a red herring, then I'm cool with that in the story, because probably we won't want to get to the destination of what the answer is to this immediately in the game anyway, because you know, it's a journey. It's a journey. Things don't get, the heroes don't get what they want immediately. I think red herrings are cool as long as they're done right. Some people might get annoyed about red herrings because they feel like it's wasting their time and it's frustrating and feel like plot isn't advancing. But if that journey is making you learn something and it's fun, then I don't think it matters. What do you guys think about red herrings in stores and and plots. Do you get annoyed by them? Give it a cryptic name as the save file, since we'll see the file name in the Discord. I think I just called it painting.png, so that's cool. That's cryptic enough, isn't it? Numbers do not define people. We're not simple, exactly, Dave. So, you know, I'm not going to judge you by your follower number at all. I want to get to know you as a person and what your interests are. Right, so let's go back to the Discord. So here we go, last final thing, and then we can finally open the submissions. And I probably won't get a chance to read many of them because we'll have to end stream shortly after we've opened it, but I will be keeping an eye on the Discord overnight and having a peep, and have a little discussion about the ones tomorrow. Again, tomorrow I'll be reminding people about this so that they can vote or submit their own. And tomorrow's stream, I kind of do want to discuss potential battle mechanics for the fruits, but I don't want to get too attached at this point because some of your submissions might involve that. So we'd probably want to wait until we've got a winner before we know. We'll see how it goes. Think a red herring is best when there is foreshadowing that points to the truth, so that a smart player feels like there was a fair chance for them figuring out the truth before the character does. That's a good point as well, Zach. So it's a good point. Okay. So if you've got any suggestions or ideas, then feel free to say before we open. If there's anything you think I need to add or alter, now is your final chance, because we will be opening it very soon. Painting, there we go. So what should we call this? Rosie's painting. Okay. Also, I'm going to just add a little bit more to that as well. I don't think we need to put bullet points. They kind of look a bit odd with this, considering they're all, it's not a list. So I'm going to actually not do the bullet points this time. Rosie's painting. I kind of want to say not final version. Right, so that's all I can think of that I was gonna say. I was nearly gonna expand on that and put in detail that I'm choosing not to tell people what it is, but I don't know if I need to do that. I could ramble on forever, I could, writing stuff. It looks good to me, Res, but I might just be impatient. Yeah, okay, so everything's there, I believe. Also gonna change this text now then. Submissions. How should I word this? I don't even think I need to. I kind of should probably put when they're gonna close. Submissions will be open for at least hang on, until at least, right, what's the date on Thursday? Thanksgiving, isn't it? Thursday. That makes no sense, that sentence. Submissions will be over till at least Thursday stream, 28th of November. So way too much of it. I'm putting brackets Thursday stream. But put me. I'll just say that. I don't need to say I'll increase it for now. We'll judge. I'll put at least so people know it might potentially get expanded. Put it on bold instead of italic so it stands out more. There we go. I think that'll do. You can see it's everything we need. Not missed anything out, I hope. So I'm going to get a bot command up now, so I can link it in chat for anybody who is lazy and doesn't want to find it in the Discord. So here we go. Let's have a look at our bot commands. Right, you can vote or submit an idea for how you would like the main story to go by joining the Discord. The one that gets the most votes will be where we take the story, and here's the link. So I've already got the command there. So I just need to enable it again. So here it is, currently open until. Oh, let's have a look at that. Also, I've still got to open it. I've just realised I haven't. I should do that. Yeah, I'm going to reword it to what you say. It's probably better actually. By the way, I might close submissions at night time, like the early hours in the UK, and the reason for that is if I turn my computer off or put it on sleep, the bot won't be on. The bot will be offline, and submissions all go funny if the bot's not online. So if that does happen, if I do close them at night, I'll literally just put here. I'll be like, it's currently closed and open again in the morning, so just so you know. And so just so, because people will get confused if suddenly it's closed and they're like, well, where is it? But it's only because of the bot, the Carol the Barrel. I'm not going to have it open 24/7. I will always have it open as long as I'm on my computer, but if I'm offline, if I'm asleep or my computer's on sleep, then I'll just temporarily turn it off. Hi Podger, how are you doing today? It's good to see you. Hope you're having an awesome day. Good to see you before we finish for the day. So I'm gonna get that open now. I'm excited. So main story submission. Oh no, that's not the one we want to open, it's this one. I got it wrong. I nearly opened the wrong channel. Submissions here, that's it. So permissions, send messages, save, and that should work now. You should all be able to do it. Have we got one already? Oh my goodness, you will do it in a second, Zex. That's so funny. Oh my god, I'm not going to read it yet. I'm going to read it when I'm offline, but everybody's welcome to read a vote for Zex's submission. So yeah, it's very easy. Go right to the top and you'll see how to submit, and all this info underneath is just rules and ramble. So there we go. I hope it all makes sense. And if you've got any questions, then feel free to ask on Discord. Right, exclamation mark, right. So there's a link. You can vote or submit an idea for how you would like the main story to go by joining the Discord. The one that gets the most votes will be where we take the story, and that big link, the long link, will take you to, well, it should take you to this particular page. If you're in the Discord, it will. And then to submit, you go here. So I hope it's all clear. I told you I was impatient. I know, that's the quickest we've ever had a submission ever, I think. And I'm very excited to read it. So very excited, but I'm probably gonna have to prepare to start a raid for someone very shortly. Elite's probably streaming himself, so he's not gonna get his submission in yet, but he probably will when he's finished his stream. So I will say now, the faster you get it in, the better. And you say, are you able to vote for multiple ideas? Yes. If there's a lot of submissions and there's a few you like, then yeah, vote for whatever ones you like. I don't want to limit you. So totally. Okay, everybody. So thanks for hanging out today. I'm very glad that we got this all up and organised and stuff before we ended stream today. Awesome. And that's a good length as well, Zexy. A couple of paragraphs, so that's fantastic. Ooh, some ideas for a barrel race. Oh, that's cool. I'll read that properly after my dinner as well, Zexian. So I'm going to keep this channel up so I'll remember. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think that's everything. I'm ready to say hi to somebody and pass the love on to another streamer. So let's do the raid command. I'd love you to join me to say hello. So I'm gonna see who's online. I'll just hide the internet while I get Twitch up. So yeah, till at least Thursday's stream. So we won't know the winner until then, at the earliest. So tomorrow's and Thursday's stream, we won't get too caught up in planning anything story-wise yet involving the battle and what's going on in that particular cutscene. But we might be able to work on Carol the Barrel things and the part of the story that I've already confirmed, where we've got the flashback and the conversation where Carol says she knows Rose and stuff. That sort of thing we can work on. But obviously the things that we're still not sure about, because we haven't got the winner yet, the second part of the chapter, we'll wait until we close that, until we work on any of that stuff. Okay, yeah, thank you, Rex, for joining in the raid. I appreciate that. Right. Okay, so we're going to say hi to Elite today. He's playing with his kitties at the moment, I believe. So let's go say hi to our good friend Elite. Chat. And I will see you all tomorrow. I'm excited. And yeah, feel free to submit your idea. If you can't think of anything, then we'd still appreciate your vote. But we're probably not gonna, it'll take a bit of time for the submissions to build up, probably, but we got a couple of days at least. So take care, everyone. You're all the best. Awesome. Take care.